Please forgive me if you're having trouble hearing me in the back. I'm dead.
Mark Twain was pronounced dead in 1910, but this man who famously said, "Reports of my death are greatly exaggerated," wasn't entirely wrong.
I got a bone to pick with Einstein. He stole my look.
Twain's words remain ingrained in our public discourse. His observations about the human condition as relevant today as when he wrote them.
Amen. I say, politics is just show business for ugly folk.
Sunday Morning was granted an exclusive interview with the author of such literary classics as The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Twain's first interview since his death. Good to meet you. I never thought I'd get a chance to interview Mark Twain.
Thank you.
You've been dead for over 100 years. Are you surprised that people remember you so well? Or you're...
No, I enjoy compliments, but I'm also embarrassed to say what I think to a person when I get a compliment. I so often feel they have not gone far enough.
They've probably gone far enough now in his hometown of Hannibal, Missouri. Twainiacs come to see the childhood home of Mark Twain and a replica of Tom Sawyer's fabled fence.
After slightly more than an hour, that rollicking crowd of young ladies and gentlemen...
Jim Waddell performs as Mark Twain in the caves frequented by Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn.
I am of the opinion that there are probably as many Mark Twain impersonators as there are Elvis impersonators.
And that ram grandfather got from a filler up in Siskiyou County.
Richard Gary has been portraying Mark Twain for 40 years.
He's dealing with our problems in Huckleberry Finn. In one sense, he would update it if he was writing today, but he could write about the same subject material, because in Huckleberry Finn, you have substance abuse, you have child abuse, you have racism.
Hannibal is also the birthplace of Mark Twain's disdain for authority, which began when a teacher asked,
"Are there any idiots in the room? And if there are, to please stand up." Well, she was staring right at me. So after quite a long silence, I stood up. "Oh, my, then, young Sammy Clemens, why do you think you are an idiot?" I said, "Actually, ma'am, I don't. I just hate to see you standing up there all by yourself."
This Mark Twain is film actor Val Kilmer.
You're everyone's problem.
Yes, that Val Kilmer.
Gentle rain.
And that.
Me.
And that.
The bat signal is not a beeper.
And even that Val Kilmer.
The difference between praying in the casino and praying in church, don't you? Well, in the casino, they really mean it.
Kilmer has worked for 10 years writing, directing, and acting in Citizen Twain, and plans to take his one-man play to Broadway and the movies.
In many ways, he was America's first great stand-up comedian. He just went on stage and talked like he talked. And if he was smoking a cigar, which was 24 hours a day, he just went on stage with a cigar. If he was drinking, he went on stage with his whiskey. And no one ever did that before.
If you lived today, do you think you'd have a television show, or what do you think?
I could see a two-hander with me and Oprah.
It would definitely have to be on cable. We have something new, which I don't know if you heard about it, is political correctness.
Well, that's an oxymoron. There is nothing correct in politics, so...
Twain spoke his mind on all those things you're not supposed to bring up at the dinner table, such as religion.
If Christ were alive today, there is one thing he would not be. That is a Christian.
Opposition to our government.
You know, you should always support your country, always, 100%, but your government only when it's worthy of it. You know, they are two different things, and we tend to get confused about that.
And race.
The success of Tom Sawyer, where there's racial issues introduced, but in Huckleberry Finn, his masterpiece, he takes it head on.
Twain's repertoire extends from such significant satire to snappy one-liners like the one he laid on this Los Angeles audience.
They say living in California adds 10 years to your life. Isn't that wonderful? I think I'll spend them in New York.
After 103 years of purported death, Mark Twain still speaks to us in a most lively fashion.
I was born modest, but it wore off.